You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Ohio.
You know what time it is. Raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. If we don't play, all wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an IO. Come on.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk college football with real fans. I'm Devin, excited to be here tonight. Buckeyes rolled through Rutgers yesterday. We had a commit flip for out of the Buckeyes class, man. We lost one in this class. We'll get into that a little bit tonight. I'm going to go over a little bit of the Rutgers game, some things I saw. I did a live watch party during it, and I react live way different than I do when I rewatch the game. So I got really a lot of great things to say about these Buckeyes after rewatching it, including the offensive line and why we played the game we did, man. These Buckeyes, they've been preparing. It is officially hate week here for the Buckeyes, man. We got the big-time game coming up on Friday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. I will be hosting an onslaught of Buckeye YouTubers, Buckeye parents, Buckeye commits, Buckeye players. Going to have a couple from the other side come on here. Maze Madman's going to join us. He's on the other side, get his take on the game. But that's Friday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Chat, I see you guys in there, man. Hit that like button for me. Hit the subscribe button as well. Super chats are open. Let's get to this thing, man. First, let's talk about it, man. Buckeyes lose a commit in their 2026 class. Cameron Brickell, the defensive tackle out of IMG Academy. The Buckeyes already had 5 defensive tackles committed in this class, really 4. So this brings the number down to 2. I'm going to take a look at this real fast. So that leaves us with Damari Simeon, the number 75 player nationally, Emmanuel Ruffin, the number 146 player nationally, and my dude Jameer Perez, 6'4", 330 out of Ohio. The Buckeyes are still in pursuit of another defensive tackle. They had a 2026 Ohio defensive tackle visiting for the Rutgers game. I'm going to try to get that pulled up real fast. I should have had that pulled up already. I apologize. I did not. But let me try to find that real fast. I want you guys to know his name. That way we can keep an eye on him, man, because obviously the Buckeyes knew this was happening. Quick things. I would have loved to have had Cameron Brickell in this class, but a couple things real fast. He doesn't start for IMG. So I think the Buckeyes lost a little bit of, like something with him. They didn't really like what they saw his senior year, if I had to guess. I mean, he didn't start at IMG. IMG, a big-time school. So obviously he went to Maryland. Good player, but, when somebody flips from Ohio State to Maryland, I don't think I really need to say much more than that already. But the name to pay attention to here out of the state of Ohio is defensive lineman Mason Holbrook. There's also a defensive end in Frankie McAllister, plays at St. Francis. He was visiting for the Rutgers game as well. So that's a little bit of a shakeup in the Buckeyes recruiting class. Yes, I got the news on all the injuries, on everything. I'm going to answer a lot of your guys' questions tonight. I've been on the phone with several people very close to the team, so we'll get to that. I want to start off. We'll switch over to this Rutgers game, right? So obviously, watching the Rutgers game, and there were some things that we were doing. I think we only threw 13 passes or something like that. It was pretty wild. So it was a weird game to watch. It wasn't a game you get out of and you're like, oh, yeah, so we only completed 13 passes. We threw 22 passes the entire time. So the game plan just made for a weird game to watch. And you kind of ask yourself, like, hey, why did we have this game plan? Well, after talking, to some people, I had a sneaking suspicion that, hey, we're trying to get ready, right, for this scum game, right? Ryan Day and this coaching staff, they're not playing games with this scum game coming up. They're taking it very, very serious. The first thing you notice is no Jeremiah Smith, no Carnell Tate, and no Quincy Porter. Believe it or not, I was told, right, that even Quincy Porter was told to rest for this game because he might be utilizing the scum game. But Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate are both playing in the scum game. It's going to happen. They're not going to miss that game. That is the whole reason both of them did not play this game. That's the whole reason Carnell Tate has not played the 3 previous games, is to get ready for this game. I know Ryan Day preaches, hey, one game at a time, but when they look at the schedule and they see Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, they see an opportunity to rest some of the guys they need to rest. And if there's a little injury, a little nagging thing, they don't want to make it worse, right? So you've watched the Purdue, UCLA, and Rutgers game, and I'm sure it's been a little frustrating, but these coaches, Ryan Day and this coaching staff, they're playing chess. They're not playing checkers, man, right? They're just not. Their only goal was to win the game. They won the game 42-9 yesterday. And to be quite honest with you, with the game plan that we had, it was a very, very boring game plan. A lot of people want to talk about how the game plan sucked or whatnot. There's a reason for that. Everything is pointing to this scum game in the playoffs. That's what it is, So when you're watching this game as a fan, try to keep that in mind. Even Josh Padilla. So Josh Padilla is the only one that I can't get a lockdown on as to whether, hey, is this dude going to be in? Is he going to be in to flip-flop, snaps with Tegra or not? That's what I don't know. But I'm digging into that to see if I can find more answers there. But let's start off with this Rutgers game real fast. Highest graded offensive player on the team, Jelani Thurman. He had 11 snaps, the entire game, graded out at 90.6. So he did really well. Phillip Daniels, highest graded offensive lineman. He killed the game. Austin Saraville did as well. And believe it or not, man, Tegra, right? Tegra for pass blocking graded out at 78.3. He was our second highest graded out offensive lineman. When I did go back and watch the offensive line during the live stream, I made a couple comments about Tegra. And I know the very first block he missed was him trying to get up to the second level. A lot was going on. He tried to get up to the second level. He knew his assignment. He went for it. But it was just a good read by the linebacker to crash down and blow the play up, right? But, overall, Austin Saraville graded out really well. Phillip Daniels, Luke Montgomery, and Tegra did. Carson Hinsman was our lowest graded offensive lineman. So, I'm telling you guys, I don't know if you've had the opportunity to go back and watch that game again, but the offensive line did not perform as bad as like during the game when you're watching it, as bad as that. So let's see here. If we go over to Max Clare, obviously graded out really high. Max Clare had a really, really good game. He had 7 receptions for 105 yards. Give me 1 second. I got somebody calling. Okay, sorry, Chad. I had to do that. It's a family member calling, and kind of makes you scared when a family member called that normally doesn't. But all is well. What was I talking about? Let's get back to this thing. James Peoples was another one, man, that stood out to me. James Peoples only had 3 carries. His first 2 carries, he was averaging 6 yards per carry, and then he had that one really long run. He ended up averaging 18.3 yards per carry. He had a 49-yard run. So not bad by James Peoples. Like I said, Jelani, when he got in, he did good. That's really good. Man, when I rewatch this, the biggest thing for me, guys, on the defensive side of the ball that I am starting to get really excited about is the interior of this defensive line, man. Tywone Malone looks very, very good. Edric has the potential to be very, very scary. Tywone Malone was the 4th highest graded defensive player on this team. Caden McDonald was 3rd. So you got a 3rd and 4th highest graded defensive players on the team are both defensive tackles in the interior of the defensive line. Will Smith Jr. as well. Every time he gets in, he absolutely dominates. And Edric Houston, bro, when he is on his game, right, not making stupid mistakes, bro, he's scary. The ceiling that Edric Houston has is very scary. I mean, when I watch this film, dude, every single rep, it's like Will Smith Jr. They're shoving everybody back. Tywone Malone does the same thing. K-Mac does the same thing. So, dude, this defensive line, Caden Curry, an absolute animal. Caden Curry, what'd he have? 6 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. 92.7 PFF grade. Absolutely insane. So I'm excited about our defensive line, dude. They are playing lights out right now. They're playing very, very good. It's just so different when you go back and watch the game. I remember during the live stream, complaining about a few things, and those little tiny things that we complain about, it's literally because I expect perfection, right? Anytime Rutgers completed or pass, I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on with our defense? Anytime we didn't get 5 yards per carry, I was like, dang, what's going on with this offensive line? But, dude, things came together pretty good yesterday. It was just weird, man. I encourage you, go watch the game again. I think you'll get a little bit different vibe from it. Another one is Iggy, bro. Iggy's tearing it up. Iggy's turning himself into a shutdown corner. Some people were saying, hey, he could have, been called for a couple pass interferences. I don't think so. I think it was really good defense. Jermaine Matthews as well. He got called for a play that I don't think should have been called. Really good defense. Devin Sanchez stepped his game up as well in a big way. Let's see where he at. He was graded number 9 per PFF, so really good grade. Had an interception on the day as well. They took a shot at him going down the field on the very first series of the game. He was in good coverage, forced the quarterback to overthrow on the pass. It was the only way he could have, completed that pass. Why? Because Devin Sanchez was in coverage the whole time. So it's really good to see that as well. Julian Sand threw for 68%. He's now throwing for 79.4% on the year. But listen, it's like everything. When you watch that game yesterday, there was a reason we're upset. All right. There was a reason we got upset. It's because the coaches are preparing for this game this week, man. I'm telling you right now, they are not playing games. They're doing some things different this year. They're not taking a bus to the Scum game. They're flying. They're flying to the Scum game, so that's different. They rested up a lot of players yesterday that thought maybe needed it. They rested them. And, we saw Lorenzo Styles go out of the game. I was told he just popped his shoulder out of place. He's done that once already this year. He actually popped it back in place and came back in the game. So I was told the dude could have came back in the game, but it's one of those scenarios where, no, we're going to rest these guys up because the next game we have, that's number 1 on our goals, right? They got 3 goals. Beat Scum, Big Ten title, playoff game. Well, here comes the first game, man. This is what it is. So the last 3 games, if you are using the last 3 games to judge this Buckeye team in any type of way, I encourage you to take a step back because you're judging them based off of wrong information. You're judging them based off of a team trying to sit back, just win, and prepare. I have a feeling we are going to see a different Buckeye team roll out the rest of the time we see them. Okay, so the rest of the time we see this Buckeye team in this Scum game, we watched Scum play Maryland yesterday. Maryland is absolutely horrible, but one thing Maryland was able to do is throw all over them. If their wide receivers were any better, I watched, I don't know how many drop passes of wide open wide receivers in that Maryland game. The score was 45-20. Bryce Underwood probably played his best game. He was 16 for 23, but he still gets antsy, man. He still throws those sidearm floating passes over the middle that's not going to fly with these Buckeyes. Something that did happen, Ernest Hausman, their linebacker / edge player, made a tweet that sounded like he was quitting football. Okay, he said the Lord told him the Lord has a calling on his life, and it was not to play football. Well, I guess he now came back out and said, all right, he's going to play in this one game. So Ernest Hausman is going to play. They are down some players. But, dude, I don't know, man. There's just a different feeling for me this year. I finally got the spread was 11.5. I took the Buckeyes plus the points with a very big number, I might add. So, and this is the first time ever I've bet on this game because you're always told not to in rivalry games. But, I really love it. The Mylan Graham thing, Charles, I see it in the chat. There's obviously something going on there. Okay. It was very evident in Ryan Day's press conference after the game. They asked about that. Somebody asked him about that. And essentially Ryan Day said, well, the more you do your job, the more consistent you are, the more playing time you will get. So when Mylan, right, starts getting more consistent, we saw him last. How many drops did he have last game? So everybody's timing is different, right? The fans did this. The fans talked Mylan Graham up so high because we watched him in the spring game. We see the talent he has. He was a late arrival to the Buckeyes last year. So this is the first full offseason he's had with the Buckeyes. There's some things still to work out there. And also, it was senior day, and David Adolph has been a very big part of this team for a long time. He's a very good wide receiver that stuck it out with these Buckeyes. So this coaching staff wanted to give him the opportunity to come in and get a lot of snaps. And he got 48 snaps, and he did a good job in those 48 snaps, if you ask me. He caught 2 passes for 23 yards. I know he had a drop, but still, very good. I will tell you, like I said, the offensive line, my worries, they kind of, it might still be there a little bit, but I just got faith, man, because with what the Buckeyes have been doing these past 3 games, schematically, it's putting a lot on the offensive line. And the natural, I was not trying to say David Adolph is better than Mylan Graham or whatever, but they didn't need Mylan Graham to play that game at all. They did not need him to. And quite frankly, I don't think he's ready for that yet. I do not think Mylan Graham is ready for that. We can argue why that is. We can argue, oh my gosh, it's scary, but we're talking about Brian Hartline here, right? So let's just trust Brian Hartline. He'll play Mylan Graham when the time is right. Brian Hartline, I think, has probably earned our trust more than any other coach on this coaching staff. So there has been an uproar about Mylan Graham. I'm not in an uproar at all about it. I don't really – I guess I could see why some people would be in an uproar over it, but I'm just not at all. Yeah, you want him to get those you want him to get those reps. You want him to get those experience. But, dude, it's such a weird game plan. These Buckeyes have been playing the last 3 games. Why? Because they're trying to get ready. Right, for the playoffs and for this. They want to just win. They want to not have injuries. They don't want to put things on film for their opponents to see. Like, this is all going into this, guys. There's a way bigger picture here than us turning our TV on and watching the Buckeyes. Like, it's not about – they don't play football to entertain us. Like that's not their goal. They don't write on their whiteboard, hey, let's make sure we have a good game plan to entertain the fans. No, it's, hey, let's make sure we have a good game plan to win the national title. Let's make sure we have a good game plan to beat scum. Let's make sure we have a good game plan to win the Big Ten title. And let's make sure we have a good game plan to win the national title. And the only thing they needed to do to get towards those three goals the past three games, the Rutgers game, the UCLA, the Purdue game, was win those games. That's it. And that's what they did. Very, very convincingly. None of those games were ever up in the air. And they did it in a way where they could work on some things, work on some plays, work on the run game, get some other guys some experience, some depth pieces, some experience, and also put some things on film, okay? And also not put some things on film. So this all goes into, right, these Buckeyes and the game plan that they have, and that's what I'm convinced of, and that's what I'm being told as well. Like that, I'm being told this from people close to the program as well, but we can all talk about this all we want, but we're going to find out, right? And we're going to find out next Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, and I'm absolutely stoked about it. So you're going to hear people talking all kind of stuff, this, that Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate's going to get brought up. They're playing in the game, all right? So if you go listen to other shows, read other articles or whatever, just listen to the words that I'm telling you. They're both playing in the game. They're okay. I expect Lorenzo Styles to play as well. The only person that I think can make an impact in this game that I don't have good information on is Josh Padilla. That's it. That's the only one. But I'm still digging there, trying to keep you guys updated. So, but this Rutgers game, man, like I said, the past two games, guys, what about Lincoln Kienholz? What do you guys think about him? I loved watching him get in, and I think he did a very, very good job. I mean, Lincoln rushed he had 3 carries for 37 yards, right? He had a 22-yard run. So I love when Lincoln gets in. He looks good. He made a couple good passes last game. He made a decent pass this game. You see him get on the run. He looks comfortable out there. He's fast. He's a baller. I think the dude can be utilized in these playoffs. I really do. He is fast and athletic, like big time. We've seen him lower the shoulder. We've seen him get around the corner. Linebackers can't catch him. So I'm really, really excited to see Lincoln Kienholz seem to be playing darn good football right now. Bo Jackson is playing out of this world. He's peaking at the right moment. I'm not even going to talk about the fumble. It's football. That's what happens. But the dude makes people miss. He's got wheels, really good vision. I love it. James Peoples is really coming on. He's pressing for that number 2 running back role. He's running like he's got, something chasing him, dude. This dude's got a different hunger about him right now than I have, that I've seen. This is the James Peoples that I expected to see at the beginning of the year. Now, yes, he hasn't done it against good competition yet, but these are confidence-building reps for James Peoples, and he's capable of doing it. You see his athleticism. You see his speed. You see his power. It's all there. The only thing that was missing was his confidence. Charles wanting to know about who could we lose wide receivers. No, Mylan Graham's not transferring. Mylan Graham will be here. He's SFE, Brotherhood. He's all about it. He wants to be developed at the highest level, and this is the place to do that. So Isaiah West also still looking very strong. CJ Donaldson only got 3 carries. Right. The other thing about Bo Jackson that I noticed in this game was really good pass protection, man. That's something I noticed when I rewatched the game. It wasn't always the case with him. There was always a huge gap between him and CJ. CJ being the best, pass blocking running back that we have. Well, yesterday, Bo Jackson did a very good job in his pass blocking, which is really nice to see. Already talks about Max Clare. Max Clare is very fast, really good at running routes. I think he's starting to catch on. That just going to boost his confidence anymore. So these past 3 games, especially yesterday, we're going to be coming into this scum game with Bo Jackson, rushed for 110 yards. His confidence level is through the roof. Max Clare caught 7 passes for 105 yards. His confidence is through the roof. Caden Curry's confidence through the roof. Defensive tackles, confidence through the roof. The only question marks we have is, okay, do you think Julian saying J.J. Smith and Carnell Tate are going to lose a step? Do you think they're going to lose a step, especially the Carnell-Julian connection, because of them not playing for the amount of time that they did? My answer is no. I do not think so at all. We watched what those dudes did before Carnell went out in the Purdue game, before JJ went out this game. The connection is there. The connection's going to stay there. It's like riding a bike. Once you do it once, you don't forget how to do it. I think they're going to keep that connection, and everything's going to be good. OSU 26, what's going on with Philip Daniels? Well, he was the best offensive lineman that we had on the field on Saturday, in my opinion. He was also the best offensive lineman on the field the last game. I do got to give Buckeye boys a little props here, man. We kept being told all offseason, dude, Philip Daniels is taking somebody's starting position. I kept reporting it, kept telling people. People told me I was crazy. Come into the season, he took somebody's starting position, and he's turning into an absolute animal. He had a bad game in the what game was that? Wisconsin game? UCLA game or something? Might have been the UCLA game. We had a really bad game. But he's coming on to his own. Tegra, obviously the coaching staff trusts him, guys. I mean, obviously the coaching staff really trusts him. When Tegra executes, he executes at a very high level, guys. He just does when he does it. I know that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about when he does it. We're talking about when he doesn't. The consistency there is just not there. And that's something that I stopped thinking about it, and ultimately I just trust the coaching staff, whatever they're doing here. Josh Padilla, I think, would, if he didn't get injured, would be eaten into his reps way more, because Josh Padilla did really, really well when he did get in. So, but honestly, Luke Montgomery had a really good game. Austin Sarivold had a really good game. Carson Hinsman had a meh game. He played all right, but we know he plays good. He dyed his hair blonde. Did you guys notice that? I kept looking like, dude, who is that player with blonde hair? Carson Hinsman. So I don't know why he did that, man. But Carson Hinsman now has bleach blonde hair. Bleach blonde faux hawk. That's what Carson Hinsman have. Whatever, dude. I love it. Keep playing nasty, dog. Tegra is who he is. I got a sneaking suspicion that Josh Padilla will be back for the Michigan game, and we will see him and Tegra rotate in and out. And Philip Daniels is a beast at run blocking. He slips up pass blocking every once in a while, but he's good. So, dude, I got a lot of confidence going into this game. I really, really do. I know I did last year as well, but it's just a different feeling. Ryan Day's a different coach. I mean, you guys can't argue that. Can you? Do you guys think Ryan Day is a different coach? Do you think that game last year changed him? I mean, everything is pointing to yes. When you see how they did the offseason, how they have been attacking this season, how they attacked the playoffs last season, and how he's going about his business this year. I mean, shoot, even how their recruiting has changed. So I think he's just different, man. I think Ryan Day is different. And I think they're prepared and they're ready for this game. So I'm excited. Let's see. Do I got anything else? K-Mac, man. K-Mac continues. K-Mac's the first round. He's going to be the second first-round defensive tackle Larry Johnson has produced in 2 years, guys. So remember that. Remember this offseason when the beat starts their Larry Johnson hate. Remember this, guys. Remember this, okay? Tell them to be quiet. Tell them they don't know what they're talking about, and tell them, no, we want Larry Johnson here as long as we possibly can, because the dude develops. The dude recruits and gets guys that can play football, man. Tyleek Williams, K-Mac, Jack and JT, Caden Curry, Kenyatta Jackson. Bro, they are ballers. This is the best defensive line in the nation. And coming into the season, we were all tripping about the defensive line. Not all of us, but a lot of people were. So, am I wrong? You guys think I'm overstepping there? Hey, take it easy, Eddie. Appreciate you. What up, Aunt Chris? I see you in there. Steely. No, we should have fired LJ. I'm telling you guys. I mean, I love it. Here's another sneaking suspicion I have, right? Next year, we're going to have Will Smith Jr. come back, Edric Houston. Jason Moore is the one that we're waiting on, that most Buckeye fans have given up on. There's only one person that hasn't given up on Jason Moore, and it is Larry Johnson. And when Jason Moore has gotten in and gotten reps this season so far, he's looked very good. He was injured for the first 5 games. So keep an eye on Jason Moore, man. Larry Johnson has been high on him from the get-go, always called him the perfect 3 technique. Or whatever, or three technique. I don't know what they call him. Whatever. The perfect defensive lineman. Larry Johnson has always said that. So I think that's it, guys. I think I'm out. So Cameron Brickell flipped out of the class. It is. I mean, if you said, Devin, you have to pick a defensive tackle that's going to flip out of this, that's going to flip, or that you wouldn't mind flipping, I would have picked Cameron Brickell. Just because I haven't seen much, man. He's been to 4 different high schools. You know, it was one of those times when we ended up taking Cameron Brickell over who we just signed. Who was it again? Emmanuel Ruffin. Emmanuel Ruffin wanted to get in, but we took Cameron Brickell's commitment. Emmanuel Ruffin came into his senior season and killed the game. Cameron Brickell came into his senior season and didn't start, doesn't get too much film out there. But I don't like to sound like that. It sucks we lost him, but we're going to be fine at the defensive tackle position. We've got Damari Simeon, Emmanuel Ruffin, and Jameer Perez. Those are 3 defensive tackles in one class. I love it. And then we got Dre Quinn and Kari Wilder as well. Those are 5 defensive linemen that we've recruited. And I think we're still going after one more. And the 2027 class is looking like we got a lot of momentum there as well. So take the last 3 games. If you guys have worries and concerns based off the last 3 games, you need to take that notebook piece of paper, crumble it up, and throw it out. If you have concerns previous to those 3 games, we might be able to have a conversation. But you can't look at these last 3 games, man. Ryan Day has had this scum game in the playoffs on his mind. That's what the game plans have looked like. That's what the rotating the players, that's been on the mind as well. So that's what we're doing. I'm trying to look. We got 27 commits. Yeah, we got 27 commits now. Our average actually went up. So our average went up to 93.16. We have the 5th class in the nation now. That's really weird. Yeah, we're ranked number 5 now. We went up by 0.16, so we jumped a spot. We have the number 5 class in the nation, guys. Get some. Buckeye recruiting on a heater. I'm a little bit thrown off that CJ has not committed yet, the Florida commit. But after watching Florida play Tennessee, I'm hoping that tomorrow CJ commits to the Buckeyes because Florida is not doing too well. Without portal players. Am I having a scum watch party? Yes, I am. During the game? I don't know, guys. I don't know. But this Friday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., I'm going to remind you again, got a lot of people coming on. College football with Sam, obviously Nevada, B. Moses, Funky, Mello's going to be joining us. And I've got a lot of messages and text out. Daniel Sanchez is going to be on. Duke Pettyjohn's going to be on. I'm trying to get Brady Edmonds on here to talk a little bit. Yes, I know you guys aren't going to like that I'm bringing Maze Madman from the other side over, but I just think it adds a dynamic to the show. I legit want to hear their side, what they're thinking. Are they confident? College football with Sam. He's also a Scum fan, but he doesn't like, he's a college football fan in general. So he'll probably give us a pretty good take on the game. I don't agree with everything that he says by far, but I do agree with some things that he says. I know you guys can't stand Mays, but you're only going to have to stand him for 15 minutes. I'm just trying to make this show a little bit different. I'm trying to give you guys an entertaining, information-filled show. So there'll be a lot more on. There'll be some other guys added to the list as well. I'll be doing a show with Juck this Tuesday. So not Monday, Tuesday on my Buckeye Boys channel. Me and Juck are going to get on there. Going to talk about the game a little bit. That will not be streamed on the Scoop channel. Time conflictions with the other show are going to screw that up. So, you have to go back and watch it when the Scoop show's over. Go back and watch me and Juck's show on the Buckeye Boys show over there. So check that one out. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Who else is coming on the show? Ohio State from Barstool might be on. Trying to get Mechadon on here. He's been on here before, so trying to get him on the show as well. So like I said, I'm trying to bring on the big-time hitters, get them guys on. So we'll see, man. It's going to be a 3-hour stream, so you're going to have to bear with me. And I don't know. I might come on here and do a live watch party for the Scum game. You guys want me to? You guys want to do? Fellas, I don't know, man. Because, dude, I get turnt during games, guys. And I'm going to be extra turnt during that game. I don't know if I want my reactions to plays be live. I really don't know. Can I get Johnny? Yeah, I'm going to reach out to Johnny. Johnny will come on. I like Johnny. I like Mays too, Mays Madman, but I know you guys don't. Will we replace Brickle? Yeah, like I said, if we do, it's going to be, I think the coaching staff will attempt to, but they saw this coming, guys. That's why we signed Emmanuel Ruffin. Melo's coming back on for sure. I already talked to him. Yeah, so I'll just have to make a decision. So Mason Holbrook, 6'3", 270 out of Hamilton, Ohio. You're not going to be able to look at his rankings and think they're real good, but he's one. He was here for the Rutgers game. And then Frankie McAllister, an edge, 6'5", 220 from St. Francis de Sales, was here for the Rutgers game as well. So obviously, if the Buckeyes are having him come for a visit, they're keeping an eye on him. And let me tell you why they're doing this, guys. I don't really hear anybody else talking about this, but they're doing this because of the transfer portal. Because the transfer portal is between January something and January 16th. And if the Buckeyes are still in the playoffs, the Buckeyes are still going to be in the playoffs at that time. They're not going to be able to go get players out of the portal like they want to. They're going to be focusing on the game. And also, after the Buckeyes win the national title, the day after and 4 days after that, their roster is open for picking from the rest of the nation. And there was not another open portal window for if any players leave the Buckeyes at that time, they could not replace them. So Ryan Day is thinking ahead. He's a solution-oriented coach. How do you remedy that? You bring in a bunch of players in your recruiting class. That's what they're doing. I expect there to be 30 players in this class for that simple fact right there. Literally, that right there has completely changed Ryan Day and the Buckeyes recruiting strategy. I don't know why people aren't talking about this more, but the NCAA has absolutely screwed any teams in the playoff. They screwed us. Ryan Day said in his press conference that the way you make up for that is you have got to make sure you bring in enough players in your class. So we got 27 now. I expect 3 more to be added to this class. Defensive lineman, maybe another offensive lineman, another corner for sure. No more wide receivers. Caden Dixon-White, Chris Henry Jr., they are Buckeyes. All 5 wide receivers will sign with Ohio State. They are Buckeyes. I don't foresee any other players flipping out of this class, but I foresee us flipping a couple out of this class. So I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. You guys got any questions for me? I see the super chat. Thanks for the $1.99. John M. Did Arvell play? Didn't see him out there. Yeah, Arvell played. Arvell Reese played. He played 44 snaps. Was one of the worst graded PFF players, but again, I am convinced the coaching staff is telling him to back off. I know that sounds psycho, but that's just what I'm convinced of, guys. You guys think I'm crazy by saying that? I know there's another super chat in here. Yeah, right here. Thanks for the $10. Daniel Day is playing chess. Our coaches are better. Our players are better. We have 2 QBs we can win with. I see the game like Tennessee and Oregon in the playoffs. Satan's, oh boy, they're not ready for what's coming. Dude's fired up, Daniel. Daniel's fired up. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you guys read it. Woo-wee. All right, y'all. B. Moses and Funky are on next, so stay tuned there. And get ready for some fun-filled, scum, trash-talking shows. I'm going to have a lot of graphics made and put out on my Twitter account. Go check that out. So go check out the Buckeye Boys channel. If you're watching on Scoop, please go over to the Buckeye Boys with a Z after this on YouTube and hit subscribe and hit like over there as well. Show that channel a little bit of love. It's like my channel. I also stream on Scoop. So just trying to build the name, build the brand just a little bit. You guys can help with that. But I'll see you guys in the chat for B. Moses and Funky show. On that note, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.